$3 billion. That's what Premier League clubs spent in one summer window. Meanwhile, MLB teams are out here making headlines with 2-year, $34 million deals? But hold up, before soccer fans start celebrating in the comments, let me tell you something about baseball that's going to blow your mind. The transfer window opens in 3 days. The MLB Hot Stove? It's been cooking. And by the end of this video, you're going to see why baseball's system might actually be smarter than soccer's, even if the numbers don't look as sexy. I'm breaking down both systems, showing you the real money behind the moves. And trust me, you're going to be shocked by what I found. Let's get into it. The setup, explaining both systems. All right, first things first. Let's make sure we're all on the same page about how these systems work, because they're completely different. The transfer window. Soccer's shopping season. In soccer, there are 2 windows every year where clubs can buy and sell players. The big ones in summer, the smaller ones in January, opening January 1st, 2026, and closing February 2nd. Here's how it works. If a club wants a player under contract at another club, they have to pay that club a transfer fee. And these fees? They're insane. We're talking £65 million for Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo, 70 million euros for players like Kvicha Kvaratskhelia last January. And get this, Premier League clubs spent over $3 billion in summer 2025 alone. Liverpool dropped 485 million euros in one window. Manchester City panic bought 218 million euros worth of players in January 2025 just to save their season. The Hot Stove, baseball's year-round chess game. Now baseball, completely different vibe. There's no transfer window. Teams can make moves year-round, but the biggest action happens in the off-season, what we call the hot stove season. Right now, as we speak, teams are wheeling and dealing. But here's the key difference. Most MLB players become free agents when their contracts expire. No transfer fee. Just negotiate directly with the player. Teams can trade players still under contract, but they're usually swapping players for players, or players for prospects. The White Sox just got Japanese superstar Munetaka Murakami for $34 million over 2 years. No transfer fee to his old team. See the difference? Soccer. Pay the club first, then pay the player. Baseball. Just pay the player, unless you're trading. So which system spends more? Let's dig into the numbers. Let's start with the headline numbers that make soccer fans feel superior. Premier League Summer 2025. $3 billion across 20 teams. That's an average of $150 million per team. Liverpool alone spent nearly $500 million on players like Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Jeremy Frimpong. I could keep going, but you get the point. Chelsea, 10 new signings. 10. They treated the transfer window like a shopping spree at Harrods. Meanwhile, in baseball, MLB 2026 offseason. Dylan Cease gets 7 years, $210 million with the Blue Jays. Pete Alonso's looking at 7 years, $200+ million. Josh Naylor signs for 5 years, $92.5 million. On paper, soccer's winning, right? $3 billion versus, what, maybe $600 to $700 million total in MLB free agency? But here's where it gets interesting. Those soccer transfer fees? That's money paid to other clubs. That money doesn't go to the player. Semenyo's £65 million release clause? That goes to Bournemouth. Then Liverpool still has to pay Semenyo his salary on top of that. In baseball, every dollar goes to the player or another team's players in a trade. When the Blue Jays gave Dylan Cease $210 million, that's $210 million going to the athlete. Period. So let's do some quick math. If Liverpool pays $65 million for Semenyo, then gives him, let's say, $15 million per year for 5 years, that's $140 million total. Dylan Cease's $210 million? That's $210 million to him. No middleman. No club taking a cut. When you factor in that soccer clubs are paying both transfer fees and salaries, the actual money going to the athletes isn't that different. But wait, there's more. Why baseball does it better? Now let me tell you why baseball's system is actually smarter, even if soccer fans won't admit it. Number 1, players actually get paid. In soccer, clubs hold all the power. They can demand $100 million for a player, and the player sees none of it. That money goes to the club's owners. In baseball, free agency means the player gets everything. Munetaka Murakami's $34 million? That's his money. No Japanese team taking a cut. The MLBPA, baseball's players' union, fought for this system. And now, players are getting generational wealth directly. Number 2, Long-term stability. Soccer contracts are shorter. 3 to 5 years is standard. Baseball? 7, 10, even 12-year deals. Dylan Cease, 7 years, $210 million. That's guaranteed. Even if he gets injured tomorrow, he's getting every penny. In soccer, if a player flops, clubs can bench them, loan them out, or force a transfer. In baseball, that guaranteed money is locked in. Number 3. The trade system is more fair. When MLB teams trade, they're swapping assets. Players for players, prospects for veterans. It's strategic, it's competitive, and it doesn't require printing money. The Red Sox just got Wilson Contreras and $8 million from the Cardinals. That's a team paying another team to take their player's contract. In soccer, if you want to get rid of an expensive player, you better hope someone pays you. In baseball, sometimes you gotta pay someone to take your bad contract off your hands. That keeps spending in check. Number 4. No panic buying. Remember Manchester City spending $218 million in January 2025 because their season was falling apart? That's desperation spending. The transfer window creates FOMO, fear of missing out. Baseball's year-round system? Teams can make moves when it makes sense. No artificial deadline forcing bad decisions. The Orioles traded for Shane Baz when the price was right. The White Sox signed Murakami because the fit was perfect. No rush, no panic, just smart baseball. And here's the kicker. MLB teams are competitive, spending $100 million per year. Premier League teams spend $150 million on average and still have half the league fighting relegation. Baseball's competitive balance? Way better. Small market teams can compete. The Rays trade Shane Baz and stay competitive. The Guardians spend $93 million and make the playoffs. You don't need a billion-dollar owner to win in baseball. In soccer, good luck without oil money or American billionaires. The counterpoint. Now, I gotta be fair. Soccer fans are gonna say, but our sport is global. More money, more excitement, bigger stars. And you know what? They're not wrong. Transfer deadline day is electric. The drama, the last-minute deals, the panic buys, it's entertainment. MLB's Hot Stove doesn't have Sky Sports cutting to reporters outside training grounds. And yeah, the star power is different. When Liverpool drops $485 million on 6 world-class players, that's instant impact. Baseball's slower. Prospects take years to develop. Contracts are backloaded, and fans gotta be patient. Plus, soccer's transfer fees do create a market ecosystem. Smaller clubs can sell players for huge fees and reinvest. Look at Bournemouth selling players for profit. That's their business model. So I'm not saying soccer's system is bad. It's just different. More flashy, less stable. More headlines, less player power. But if we're asking which sport spends more, soccer wins on total dollars. If we're asking which sport pays players more fairly, baseball. No question. The close. So there you have it. $3 billion in transfers versus 7-year guaranteed contracts. Transfer deadline panic versus year-round strategy. Club profits versus player power. Which system do you think is better? Are you team transfer window or team hot stove? Drop a comment right now. I want to see soccer and baseball fans go at it. And if you're sticking around for the next video, we're breaking down Messi versus Aaron Judge's salaries. Who makes more money when you factor in endorsements, equity deals, and bonuses? The answer is going to shock you. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like if you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's argue in the comments. Peace.